believe I'm saying this, but Christmas is coming, and so is TSO. Hello, Al Pitrelli. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How you doing? It's good to see you again.
Yes, it's good to see you too. It was a fast year. It's like boom, boom, and now you're back, and you're doing two shows on December. I believe it's the 4th at Footprint
hmm
Center. Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be so awesome. Yeah, the year's going by quicker. I mean, every time I turn around, like you and I are on the phone talking together, or zooming together. It
Yeah.
seems like a second ago we got through last year's tour, which was a little stressful.
Yeah, that was sort of the comeback from the COVID thing, and now it's full on. You have how many dates for this tour? It looks like the itinerary just goes and goes and goes.
Yeah, no joke. I think it's 100 and something shows in, I don't know, in 6 weeks in a bunch of cities. Yeah, I look at the first date. I look to where, okay, when's Phoenix? And then when am I going home? And so
Right?
those are like the dates that I capitalize on. It's like, I know when I'm starting, I know when I'm ending, and I know when I'll be warm. Other than that, it's nonstop. It's amazing.
Yeah, your itinerary kind of zigzags across the country, but I look too. You end in San Antonio, like right
Yeah.
before New Year's Eve, so that's pleasant. That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna usually I'd fly home on New Year's Eve morning, and my wife and the girls would have Christmas together on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Don't tell them, but we're going to Disney for New Year's this year.
Oh, yay! And
So
that would be Disney. Yours would be Disney World down in Florida, right?
yes,
In
in
Orlando.
Orlando. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was the one I grew up going to a lot. It's fun. That's a good time. So this one, you guys are titling "The Best of TSO and More: The Ghost of
Mhm.
Christmas Eve," but it sounds like there's an updated presentation that fans can expect maybe to see a few things that are a little different.
Oh, girl, you have no idea. We did our first full-blown run through, I think, a couple nights ago. Now, first and foremost, we haven't done the Ghost of Christmas Eve in I don't know how many years. So people love that film. That's become like a holiday tradition to a lot of people. Like when I was a kid, it was a Charlie Brown's Christmas, or Rudolph. As soon as
Yes.
I would hear Burl Ives' voice, I felt, oh, okay, it's Christmas time, and you just feel warm and comfy. And that was my tradition. When Paul on the other side, he wanted to make this film, I think it was 98 and 99. I was like, yeah, okay. I mean, we sold millions and millions of records. Let's make a movie. Why not? Everything else he did had the Midas touch, so let's go. And immediately became a lot of people's new traditional holiday go-to movie, which it's an honor to be part of something like that. Anyway, the long and the short of it is we brought it out a couple of years ago, a bunch of years ago, and people just loved it. They love that story. So now from then until, let's fast forward to today, like 5, 6, 7 years, however long it's been, technology just keeps growing like at a ridiculous rate. So our crew they're able to do things that we weren't able to do even like 2 years ago. So anyway, going back to the run through the night, I was in the middle of playing a song, and I'm looking around like a 16-year-old kid on stage at a Kiss concert going, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. It's so beautiful, so explosive, and so intimate at the same time. Does that make sense?
Oh, having seen the show, it makes total
Okay, then you
sense.
know what I mean. Yeah.
But it is difficult to explain to someone who hasn't seen it. We'll be giving away tickets here on KSLX
Mhm.
for the show.
Okay.
And I'll have so many people say, I've heard all about it. I've never got to go. And here I am trying to explain it. You just have to see it to really understand it.
Yeah, people ask me a lot of times, and I can go through this long conversation about musically what it is. What I like to tell people is if you've ever watched a thunderstorm or a tornado on TV, go stand in a cornfield and see it in person. Big difference. I
Yeah.
don't do that, but you know, that's how intense it is in the building. And as bombastic as it can get when you have pyro choreographed to Beethoven's Ninth Symphony or Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, there'll be a vocal guitar duet or a vocal piano duet, and you could hear a pin drop in the middle of 17,000 people. That's the dynamic of Paul's story that's really the center of everything.
And you were there right then when it first originated to be
Yeah,
part
from the
of that.
jump,
So,
from the
so
jump.
you've just seen massive changes. What is this, 26 years? Is that
It'll
right?
be 28 years this March when I recorded the first opening notes of Christmas Eve Sarajevo.
Oh
And I
my.
kind of looked at him. I said, you're onto something here, brother. And, almost 3 decades in, it's an incredible thing. I don't look in the rear view mirror of my life that often. You know,
Yeah.
I'm still concentrating on what's ahead of me, but every so often it's nice to look back and say, the record came out in 96, went triple platinum. The next record came out in, I think, 98, triple platinum. We did the movie, it exploded. 99, we did our first tour. One box truck, 2 buses, and a fog machine. Yes.
Wow. And wait, now it's like how many? Is there 20 tractor trailers? I mean,
21
I've
tractor.
seen
Yeah.
I've seen the behind the scenes as it's pulling in. It's like it just keeps coming.
No, 21 tractor trailers, 12 buses, 100 crew people underneath, above, and behind the stage. like you had said, 2 shows a day,
Yeah.
you know, it's unbelievable. It's like one of my kids, you know, like, at infancy, it's like, "Oh my God, how am I gonna protect this baby and nurture and take care of it?" Yeah, and watching it grow to be like valedictorian graduating from Harvard. It's just like, I didn't see this one coming, and thank God it did, you know?
I don't think you could probably pick a favorite part of the show for you from your perspective. Is there one part of the show that you really dig doing that
It
stands
kind
out
of
to you?
varies. It's like, you know, which one of my kids are my favorite? Depends on how much they annoyed me,
Yeah.
you know?
I get
I
it.
mean, certainly when I hit the downbeat of the 1224 song, Christine Sarajevo, because again, it seems like 5 minutes ago I recorded it for the first time. You know, so that's always means a lot to me. I kind of look around going, look what the O'Neills have done. On occasion, if I do a song called Ornament, which is in the show, which is when the father's pleading to the heavens for the safe return of his runaway daughter.
Yeah.
You know, I recorded that song in 1996. My 3 older children, you know, they were babies back then. But now 2 of them are in the military. So when we play that song, in my mind, I want my babies to come home safe as well. You know,
Yeah.
now they're grown men, but they'll always be my little boys. So I have kind of like one of those little moments,
Yeah.
you know.
Those are goosebump moments, those are special. Yeah, really
But you
special.
know what it is? It's also there's such an authenticity and honesty and an intimacy about Paul's story, and I think that relationship between us on stage and the folks in the audience, there's an understanding that no, this is like real life. Because what I did realize a bunch of years ago, especially with the show we're doing this year, okay, a teenage runaway, she's in some abandoned theater on Christmas Eve, tired, scared, cold, lonely, just wants to go home. The father or the parents are flipped out, "Where's my baby girl?" Right? They miss her terribly. They just want her back. So I realize that as I'm looking in the audience now, I just, you know, I'm reflecting on people that are gone in my life. Maybe they passed on, maybe we lost touch because life kicks in, whatever.
Right.
But everybody in the audience misses somebody, especially this time of year. And there's an empty dining room chair at everybody's table, you know?
Yeah.
So they're making the story about themselves, you know, and that's the kind of thing that, you know, that the pain or the longing for somebody again, you're not alone in that. We're all sharing that. And it doesn't take your individual pain away, but there's a certain amount of solace that goes in with knowing, all right, we're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
It's okay on a certain level.
Yeah.
And
It's
at
a
the end of
bond.
Paul's story, it's a happy ending and, you know, all's good in the world.
And we walk out all in a good mood after the show is over. Absolutely.
When I see a 92-year-old go like this, "Ugh," this is a good day.
It is. It's an all ages thing. It is absolutely from
Yes,
little
ma'am.
kids to senior citizens. It's phenomenal to look at the audience. So since this is a huge chunk of the last quarter of the year for you personally, what do you do the rest of the year? I know, I know your history. I know you've played in a lot of bands, including
Mhm.
you played with Alice Cooper from Phoenix here. I know BOC, but what are you doing other stuff or do you have to start preparing for the next year as soon as this one's over?
We started preparing for the 23 tour about a month or 2 ago.
Are you serious? Wow.
Listen, the routing, the availability on buildings, what show are we talking about doing?
Yeah.
We're looking at songs in rehearsal here for next year's tour. So after I get done with It's a Small World and the Teacup Ride at Disney, back to work. You know, this has been like my only job, I don't know, for a long, long time, for at least 20 something years now. It's a full-time year-round job. It's a massive undertaking. If we're not touring, we're talking about touring. If we're not talking about it, we're recording something. There's always something going on.
And what I love is in every city you donate a portion of ticket sales to a local
Mhm.
charity, which you are doing here in Phoenix, and we appreciate that so much. And
Uh,
that raises a ton of money, tons and tons of money for each of these individual cities and charities.
Well, it's important. Listen, it was paramount and is paramount to Paul O'Neill and the O'Neill family. That's who these people are. I mean, I've never seen generosity on a level like this in my life. When I met Paul in '85, we'd kick around New York City, you know, go get a slice of pizza, hit the train station, go, we'll see some band play, whatever. And no matter what, I turn around and he's not there. He's like, you know, I'm on 38th Street. He's on 37th Street, handing somebody a $20 bill, you know? And I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, look, the money ain't going to change my life, but it may change this person's day. And if I could change their day, maybe they got a chance at a better tomorrow. He goes, why not? So when we started working, you know, the first 7 shows that we did, they sold out in like minutes, these theaters, you know? So these communities kind of helped put us on the map. And Paul said, listen, you go to somebody's house for dinner, bring them a good bottle of wine. The least you could do is give back to that community for, you know, helping us get on the map. And it's the holidays, especially this year. I mean, economically, it's insane what's going on. A lot of people need some help. $1 from every ticket from 1999 until forever will go back into these communities. That's who the O'Neills are, and I'm just proud to be part of people like this.
And tickets are on sale now for either show. There's a 3 and a 7:30 performance at Footprint Center. This is a spectacle. I say this every year, and I think everybody should go and make it a tradition if you haven't experienced it. If you have, you already know what we're talking about. For you, enjoy the Pirates of the Caribbean when it's all over, Al.
I'm not going on Space Mountain. My daughter's 6 years old, wants to hit every roller coaster there is. I'm not doing it.
Come on, get a fast pass. You'll be on and off in no time.
Oh, I'm so
Hey,
dead.
thank you for bringing this to us every year. It's very special, and it's always great to talk to you. I so
Always
enjoy our
great.
conversations.